Approving their own pay raise. Justices of the peace in Washington County giving an ordinance raising their annual maximum pay the green light last night. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis is hearing from one JP who says she hopes this increase will be an incentive for more potential candidates to run for office.
Thursday evening, Washington County Justices of the Peace voted 11-3 to increase their annual pay. That number grew from roughly $7,200 per year to just under $19,200.
I was against it at first because it did seem like a lot. But then I listened to my colleagues, especially J.P. Lopez and J.P. Chandra Washington and J.P. Lyons, and they brought out some very interesting, some important facts that I hadn't considered because I hadn't really thought about the amount of time that I spend being J.P.
District 9 J.P. Beth Koger says she allocates anywhere between 3 to 5 hours a day towards her role as J.P.
We get paid per day, as set by Arkansas Statute 1414-1205, and it's based on the population size of the county, and Washington County is one of a few that has over 200,000. And when J.P. Lyons first brought this forward, he was talking about that Benton County had just increased their salary some, and that we were among the lowest paid JPs in the whole state, even in smaller populated counties.
With this new ordinance, they will be paid $993.16 per regular quorum court meeting and $300 per subcommittee meeting. Before, the JPs were only making $200 per regular meeting. Koger says the hope is that more people may be interested in the position with a higher monetary incentive.
There were several JPs that weren't challenged this last election. And so I think it was J.P. Rios Stafford and J.P. Lopez that brought out about maybe we could entice more people to run for JP, and we really need younger people to run as JP from diverse backgrounds because we need their expertise and their insight that a lot of us older JPs might not have.
Washington County Judge Patrick Deakins tells 5 News, quote, "We have never seen the quorum court move so quickly or in such a bipartisan manner as they did raising their own pay. We hope this same energy level will be used to bring constructive solutions to our county challenges." Washington County says the money will come out of an unappropriated reserve and will not affect any other spending. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Today, many Arkansans paid their final respects to former Governor Jim Guy Tucker. The state capitol opened its doors this morning as Tucker's body lies in state in the second-floor rotunda. Public viewing wrapped up a couple of hours ago on the second floor. State was under his leadership from 1992 through 96. It followed a lengthy career in public service. Tucker died last week at the age of 81. Remembrances, meanwhile, for Don Hutchings set for tomorrow. The former Evangel Temple pastor in Fort Smith died this week at a Fort Smith hospital. Hutchings had been with the church since 1989. Celebration of life and ministry will be held tomorrow afternoon at 2 at the church in Fort Smith. Visitation with the family starts at 12:30. Meanwhile, new at 6, the Fort Smith School District mourning the loss of one of its teachers, Stacy Bates, a beloved art teacher at Woods and Carnall Elementary Schools, passed away this week. District says the loss of Bates will be felt not only at the schools, but where she taught, but throughout the entire community. School district says counselors, teachers, and administrators will be available to support students and staff as they cope with the loss of Mrs. Bates. Also new tonight, another big bust on I-40 in Arkansas. State police say they found more than 1,700 pounds of illegal marijuana stuffed into boxes in a tractor trailer stopped in Crawford County. They say they pulled over the truck for a traffic violation. 2 men inside the vehicle are now both facing felony charges for trafficking and controlled substance. Pair of bills signed into state law by Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders this week looks to make big changes at schools all across the state starting this fall. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi joins us now with more on what some local districts have to say about these changes coming. Jacob?
Yeah, Darren, in her State of the State address in January, Governor Sanders said that educating and feeding Arkansas kids would be the 2 biggest priorities during this year's legislative session. And now 2 bills, one aimed at providing free school breakfast and another a ban on student cell phone use during school hours, have become law in the state. And officials at both the Fayetteville and Rogers school districts tell me that they've been anticipating and preparing for these changes.
Anything we can do to support those families and essentially take that financial burden off of school districts, I think is a positive step.
On Thursday, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed Senate Bill 59, or the Free School Breakfast Bill, into Arkansas law. Fayetteville Superintendent Dr. John Mulford says 41% of the more than 10,000 students in the district rely on free or reduced meals. And this year alone, Mulford says the district already has $150,000 in unpaid meal balances.
I think it is a huge financial benefit for families. We're excited about that. It also makes it a little easier on the school side, not having to worry about taking money or charging an account for breakfast. And, hopefully this is a step towards universal free lunch as well in the not too distant future.
The Fayetteville School District also has a head start on complying with the Bell-to-Bell No Cell Act, a bill Sanders signed into law looking to ban cell phone use during school hours starting fall 2025.
We were already having conversations about whether or not to restrict full day access. And now that we know that it's a statewide expectation, now it's just a matter of working through the details.
Meanwhile, Rogers Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Jeff Perry says their elementary and middle school students have already gotten used to no cell phone rules, but high school students may have to adjust.
As the new law goes into effect, then we will build policy around that new law and just let our students know and our teachers know and administrators know that the new policy is in place and that there won't be cell phones.
Mulford says reducing cell phone use is more about social media and student health than the phone itself.
You talk about student mental health and focus on academics. It's often those social media components and platforms and time that takes to do all that diverts their focus and creates poor self-image and those kinds of things.
Now, both superintendents tell me that they will be working with their respective school boards in the near future to figure out how exactly to implement both the free breakfast and no cell phone policy when it goes into effect. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
All right, Jacob, thanks. The 8th annual Black-Owned Business Expo returning to Northwest Arkansas this weekend. That event showcases a wide range of black businesses, events, and resources. Organizer Black-Owned Northwest Arkansas says it's dedicated to driving the development and promotion of local black businesses, and every year, organizers say the event just keeps getting bigger.
Downtown Bentonville at the Record, we had maybe 20 businesses, and since then we've grown to over 60 businesses, and we've outgrown every space that we've occupied.
We really want to embolden the businesses here to grow and create generational wealth.
That expo, by the way, runs tomorrow from 11 to 4 at the Fayetteville Town Center. A new store focused on community and cultural connection. Today, Casa Magnolia celebrated its grand opening. The store in Springdale is a new spot that offers food, books, art exhibits, and seasonal workshops. Owner of the store, Rafael Rios, says it's all about community.
We're drifting away from just creating a single specific demographics or age groups. We're focusing on multi-generational collaborations and gatherings.